Whether you're new to Foamstars or you've been playing for a while, whether you're a competitive player or you're a casual player, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to give a brief overview of each character and see which one best resonates with you. I'll also be giving tips and tricks here and there for each character, but of course, if you guys want to skip through, timestamps are down below. Let's talk about our first character, Soa. Now, Soa is very straightforward, she's very easy to use, and that's one of the best reasons to play Soa. Basically, when you play Soa, you want to do your best to be more medium to close range to your target. A lot of Soa players that I see, whether it's in ranked play or casuals, they'll tend to fight like this. And the issue with this is it's very easy to dodge. You have to get a little bit closer to make the most out of your ability in terms of your shots. The thing you want to pay attention to when playing Soa is the fact that you don't have to aim. As long as you're close enough, she'll hit. And that's all you need to know. So start moving around, start getting close. Don't be so afraid to get close. Don't think, oh, I'm gonna miss my shots. You won't miss. You get close enough, it'll hit. That's how she's designed. Okay. That's one of the great things about Soa, and I highly recommend you guys to really get a feel for that hit and run technique. You'll start to see how many games you can carry by yourself just by playing like that. So the first ability that Soa has is the legendary dash leap ability. You guys have probably seen it. You guys know it's cool as heck, but you want to make sure that you're using it properly. Yes, we know that she can dash. Yes, we know that she can get out of hairy situations, but pay attention to how the foam comes out. When you go forward, left, or right, the foam will always wall up. You'll notice it. You see how it walls upwards? It'll also wall left and right. The issue with this is if you're trying to fight someone, you're gonna miss, right? You're not gonna be able to light them up with as many bubbles as possible because, you know, they're walled in directions that are weird. But if you go backwards, you notice how they're more straight towards your target. So you really want to use that to your advantage. Again, it's really rewarding you for bobbing and weaving. Like Soa is that character that you really get a lot out of once you learn to play like that. So if we go left or right, you see how it walls up. You're not going to get as many shots on that person as possible. So you always want to make sure if you are looking to fight, pop that backwards, boom. If you get a few shots on them first and then fly backwards, you're probably guaranteed a kill like that. She's very strong. The second ability that we has is basically a grenade. Boom. That's pretty much what it is. It's just a grenade. But again, this is something you can use to your advantage. Don't be afraid to throw it in front of you as you're running. So don't be afraid to just like, okay, I'm shooting. Turn around, toss it, turn back around, and go over it. Because now you have cover. You can bob and weave again out of it. You can even do something crazy like you're fighting over here, they're starting to chase you, and then as soon as they cross that, and just light them up. And they're gone. A lot of ways to play this character. Again, well, actually, there's a lot of ways to play every character, but we'll get into that. The last ability that we have is her ultimate. And as you see, she becomes invulnerable. And this is something that I see a lot of players, again, use incorrectly as well. I won't really say incorrectly, but you can get so much more out of it. You'll see a lot of people just run at other people and try to knock them around. And that's not bad. But you see when she runs, she leaves a trail. One of the cool things about this is that you can actually use this to lead a charge for your team, especially when it's on the star player. So let's change teams. All right, so let's give the same example. Let's just say, you know, our team is right here, there's stars over there, oh my gosh. The best thing you wanna do is give your team a way to walk through the foam. There you go. Now you're giving your team a safe passage to walk with you, and you're kind of their shield, right? Now you have to be careful as you're running. You want to kind of go side to side and avoid fire, because the more she gets shot, the harder it is for her to run forward, and the bubble will expire early. So you really want to make sure when you use it, not to just straight up just jet towards somebody, but try to be a little bit more strategic with how you use it. But again, if you're looking for a character that's more about bobbing and weaving, more about getting in and out, more about outplaying their opponent, this is the character for you. Soa is that type of character. The next character on our list is Agito. Now Agito is a playmaker kind of like Soa, but not in the sense of bobbing and weaving, but in a sense of creating an opening for your team. If you like assassins, if you like characters that can one-shot people and really just break down a team mentally and physically, this is the character for you. He's very hard to catch, he's very hard to see, and that's why he's such a pain even in high play, because a good Agito can tear the game apart. He has a shotgun, as you see right here, and if you notice, his shotgun actually kind of divides into pellets, right? You see how they separate? If you manage to land all of them on an opponent, usually you can one-shot them. It's kind of hard to do, but if you can manage to get so close you land all of them on them, you're probably one-shot. If you can't, all it takes is two, and you most likely would catch that target and they would go down, and you get a free chill out of it. The first ability that he has is him going underneath like this and becoming a shark. He can go on the enemy's foam, his own foam, or under nothing, as you see. And once it expires or you let it go, he pops out and he's surprising you. One of the things the game actually doesn't tell you, though, is that when you are underground like that, if you run into someone, you'll stun them. It's very easy to do. You just literally run into them, you'll stun them, they'll fall on the ground. If you manage to do that, you most likely will get a free kill because, I'm sorry, a free chill. I don't want to say kill, they don't call it death. They say you're chilling out. But you get a free chill. So if I run into them like that, bow, they'll get knocked up, I let go, and I'm getting free kills. You'll notice it. It's super, super easy to do, and it's very impactful. The other ability that we have is a shuriken. Pretty much just like a grenade. Let's go. And then, you know, you can go on it to pop yourself up, but really use that sparingly. Don't fly in the air constantly because you will end up falling down in really bad spots. Again, he's like an assassin. Time your engages, time when you're gonna do things, you'll be rewarded heavily. I promise you, this is one of the strongest characters in the game for a reason. So keep that in mind. The last ability that we have is his ultimate. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna send a shark out, and that shark will be homing onto a specific character. One thing you want to keep in mind when using the shark is that it doesn't go above levels. So let's just say there's stairs. Well, it's not going to go up the stairs. Like, it's not going to catch anybody on a higher platform. So before you use it, make sure you use it on the top of the platform, or make sure you know that they can't get to a higher ground, or that ability is going to be useless. So pretty straightforward character. Again, if you like assassins, if you like characters that are going to one-shot you, going to break the enemy team down psychologically and physically, this is definitely the character for you. Also, one more tip before we move on to the next character, when we're dealing with Agito, if Agito runs out of ammo, what he can do is go into his shark form and he will refill, just like that. So when you play Agito, remember, you would rather go into your shark form when you're about to run out of foam. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting it. You don't have to wait for it, but it's just something to keep in mind when you're playing. The next character we have is Tonix. Now, Tonix is a little bit unique. Instead of her fighting, she actually uses different things to fight with you. So she has turrets and things like that. So if you're looking for a character that doesn't only fight with their person, but uses other things, other little pals, turrets, and things like that to fight with them, this is the character for you. So let's go ahead and get started with her basic kit. So the first thing that she has is her ability to fire. As you see, she has a burst fire weapon, but if you hold it, the burst fire weapon becomes more of a little grenade, and it will bounce up and it'll pop up and it'll explode. Now, you can just smack somebody in the face with it. It doesn't have to bounce and explode, but I mean, if you manage to, you know, if you manage to hit them, good job. But if you really want to aim near them so you don't whiff, it's way better to just aim near the fight than at the target. The first ability that she has is going to be her turret. Show us what you can do. Now, this is a turret that will lock on to other players, but if it has nothing to lock onto, it kind of will just shoot left and right. As you see, it's kind of going left and right and just foaming up the field. This is a great ability because you can use it to not only fight, but use it to control the battlefield. Again, she has tools to control the entire space of where people are fighting. She's more supportive than damaging, but she does do some damage. You can fight with her, but she's more of a hang back, and I'll support you guys as much as possible with artillery fire. The second ability that she has is pretty much a grenade, and it will bounce. One of the unique things about this ability is that this also locks on to a target. So if someone throws it, or not if someone throws it, I'm sorry, if you throw it and it's near someone, it's gonna start bouncing towards them. And if they don't get out the way, it's gonna explode and damage them. Again, very unique ability because it has things fight for you. And that's one of the best parts about it. You put it down and they do the work for you. Very, very awesome kit. The last thing that we have is her ultimate, which is exactly the same thing. It's a turret. This will, again, lock onto targets. If it doesn't have any targets, it won't fire. It's not like the turret that we have here. So keep that in mind. It does need to have targets in order for it to shoot. But once it shoots, it's gonna pile something on top of the character and it's gonna knock them up. So it's basically just really big AoE circles that will knock the opponent up. When you're playing Tonix, the main thing you want to remember is that your stuff can be destroyed. This can be destroyed and that can be destroyed. All they have to do is aim at it. So when you are putting down your turrets, when you are putting down your ultimate, you want to make sure that you are putting it down in the best place possible. When you're putting down your turret, it's best to kind of put it in a secluded area. It's not going to shoot through walls, but it's best to put it in an area where they're really going to have to go out their way to aim and hit it. When it comes to your ultimate, you could put it behind walls and it will still fire across the map. So keep that in mind when you put down your ultimate. Put it behind the wall if you can, and you're good to go. Very straightforward character, very solid character. And again, if you're looking for a character that has machines that fight for you and you really just kind of want to sit back, relax, and be more strategic about where you place your stuff and let it start taking over the game, this is the character for you. The next character we have, and one of my personal favorites, is Jet Justice. Now, Jet Justice got a lot going on, so we're gonna have to tackle this kind of we're gonna take it one step at a time. But if you like a character that is, it's kind of hard to explain what Jet Justice is because he's kind of decent at everything. He's a jack of all trades, but not really the best at anything. And I think that's why I like him a lot, because he's very flexible when it comes to how you play him. So if you're more of someone who likes to be flexible and like to really go with the flow, this character is for you. Well, I mean, let's just hop into the kit. So the first thing that he has is a shotgun. As you see, when you use the shotgun, it pops out just like Agito's shotgun. But if you hold it for a split second, it'll turn into a ball. If you hold it for longer, it'll turn into a big ball. So he has 3 shots that he can use. And Jet Justice is really not as easy as he looks, but once you get used to him, he's definitely very powerful of a character. Now, a little tip for conserving your ammo is shoot 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use a small one, and then use a big one. Every single time, you'll be able to let out all of that. A lot of the times I'll see, again, whether you're casual or ranked Justice players, what they'll do is they'll just do this. Charge it. And then they'll charge it again. And then they have to reload and they're out. You don't want that. You want to be able to use as much firepower as possible. So again, 4 shots if need be. You can combine it, but I would highly recommend using 4 shots first before you do the small ones and the big ones. It's very important. So that's something to think about. And also at the end of the big pile, you can actually run with it, and then you can hide behind it. Well, this one kind of broke, but it'll be like this big. And you can hide behind it and use that as a way for cover. Very versatile character, very well done character. The first ability that he has is going to be his Cosmic Dive. So there's 3 ways to use this ability. He's got a lot going on. The first way is he'll jump straight up and he'll dive. You can press the button again as early as possible and he'll just drop back down really quickly. But if you don't want to, then obviously, let him stay in the air for a while. When you drop down, you're gonna create a little barrier in front of you, and it's gonna, as you see, shoot I don't think they're bubbles. They're just balls of foam. They'll shoot balls of foam forward, just like your shotgun, just like that. So that's exactly what happens when you land. Boom, there you go. The other way to use it is going to be where you walk forward and you see he gets a little bit of movement. He still goes straight up, but he goes a little bit further. Instead of going up and down, it's like diagonal. So again, something to keep in mind when you are playing. You want to pick and choose when you're going to use it. The third way that he can do it is when he is running forward, but he jumps. So I'll give you a brief example. If you run forward and then you jump, it doesn't matter if you do this. This doesn't really change anything. But if you just run forward and jump, he'll go more of a horizontal line and a little bit further, and you can really get some crazy plays off of it. Again, mix and match, use what you need to use for the occasion, and he'll work with you like crazy. A tool for everything. The second ability that he has is going to be his, it's not really a grenade, it's more of a vacuum. Oh, it's a vacuum sphere. Basically what it does is it sucks up all the foam around that area, and then it will drop his foam down. Pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. Doesn't really have much to talk about that. The last thing that he has is his ultimate, which will make him invulnerable. Just a tip, every character is invulnerable when they ult. But he'll put a shield up, and that's pretty much it. Be careful when using his shield. You can actually hurt people even if they're right here. The bubbles will go through. So if I'm out here and I'm shooting at somebody in the middle, it'll go through. Be very, very careful. Do not get caught down. If you're gonna be standing behind fighting, stand further back. The further back you are away from the wall, the harder it is for them to actually hit you. If they are far away, it's not gonna go through, but if the closer they get, the easier it is to just kind of penetrate it without actually going through the barrier. Again, keep that in mind. I don't know if that's a bug or a glitch, or that's just part of part of how it works, but keep that in mind when you play him. But again, if you want a character that's all-rounded, if you want a character that really rewards how you play, Jet Justice is going to be for you. You could do a lot with this character, and I highly recommend if you really look forward to having a tool for every single situation. The next character is Penguin. Now it's funny because I always say this character is the gamer character. If you're used to playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, any shooter games, this is the character for you. It literally plays exactly like one of those characters that you'd play in those games. If we look at her regular shot, it's an assault rifle, very straightforward, very single target. If you can aim, this character will dominate 100%, 100%. The first ability that she has is similar to her regular shot, but it's more enhanced. So as you see, it's more enhanced. On top of that, it goes more horizontally rather than angled up like that. It goes the same distance, but straight line rather than and with an arc. Keep that in mind when you use it. It's very useful. The second ability we have is a grenade that basically slides on the ground. Very simple, very straightforward. And then the last ability that we have is a big version of that, and it can bounce off of walls. So keep that in mind. You can really make some gameplay things with that. It can bounce off of walls. I do not think her grenade does it though. Oh, it does. Okay, I never really attempted to do so, but I just thought to check for you guys. It can bounce off the wall. Now the cool part about this character is that she pretty much has a get out of jail free card whenever she's in trouble. And the best way to really explain this is to just show you. So let's just say I'm running away and I can't get away. If you just put your grenade down, you actually have a get out of jail free card just like that, and you're out. And you even get like a little thing to hide behind just in case. So whenever you're playing this character, that's something you always want to keep in mind, is that this is a way to get out, not just a way to damage your enemies. The other thing you want to keep in mind is that if anybody decides to run at you, save this ability. It will one-shot them. If you land that, it will one-shot them and you will kill them before they kill you. I'm sorry, you won't kill them, you'll chill them before they chill you. Again, a very straightforward character, nothing too crazy about her, but that's the beauty of it. She's very straightforward, she's very effective. And again, if you are used to playing shooters, if you are used to just those straightforward type of characters, Penguin is 100% for you. So the next character that we have is Rave. Now this is a character designed for players who wants to put the enemy out of their comfort zone. You don't play Foamstars the way you want to play Foamstars, you play Foamstars the way Rave wants you to play Foamstars. This is that type of character. So if you really like to put people out of their comfort zone, out of their element, this is the character for you. His regular weapon is a hose, and it shoots, and it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Nothing really crazy, nothing intense about it. The first ability that he has him go underneath the ground, and he will pop up. It will also fill up your ammo cartridge. So as you see, I'm out of ammo. If I go down, it fills up. He can be inside of his foam, enemy's foam, or no foam, and he could still stay in this area. Once he pops up, he will have a wall of foam and you can hide behind it. It's actually bigger than this. I just kind of partially threw it on the stairs, and foam doesn't, go there. So pretty unique. Like I said, you play the way that he wants you to play, otherwise you just don't play. So keep that in mind when you play them. Not only when you go down, it fills up your ammo, but you also can use it as a way to run away, whether it be in the enemy foam, no foam, or your foam. And you could pop out, take away all the foam that you're on, replace it with yours, and create a barrier in front of you. The second ability is basically a landmine. You throw it in your foam, it goes down. If you throw it in the enemy's foam, it goes down. Kinda nutty. Again, you play how he tells you to play. Otherwise, you don't play. If you throw it on the floor here, it's just gonna like sit there and they'll see it. It's just a little penguin, or not penguin, a little mole. It'll just sit there and just like be on its back. Don't throw it out of the foam. One thing you want to keep in mind is they can destroy it. So obviously if it's in your foam, they're gonna be approaching you like this, right? So they might destroy it on accident, but who's gonna foam up something that's already foamed, right? Let's go swap teams real quick. Just real quick, let's go swap it. Change teams. Oh, I'm just chilling, hanging out. Actually, I don't think it's gonna explode on me, will it? Oh, it will. Okay, I was just making sure. And you see, look how big that is. Like, that's insane coverage, isn't it? I'm telling you, Rave Breaker's GOAT, man. And as you see, it will pop up regardless of, it will pop up once it starts noticing that you're there. If we do the same thing here, you'll actually see that it gets destroyed. See? So you just gotta be careful. It can be destroyed. Again, I'm just gonna walk into it and look at that coverage. Just look. That's ridiculous. But again, Rave Breaker is GOAT, man. He's really good. He's really good. But again, if you want to control the space, if you want to put them out of their comfort zone, really get in their heads, really mess with them, and make them regret actually trying to advance on you, this is the character for you. And last but not least, his ultimate will suck up foam, whether it be your foam or the enemy's foam, and all of it goes away. Just like that. So again, I mean, you play the way this guy wants you to play, otherwise you just don't play the game. So the next character that we have is the Baristador. If you like characters that are hard to play, if you like characters that are really push you to your limits, characters that reward good play and punish okay or bad play, this is the character for you. So just like Rave Breaker, his ability is just a hose, or his main weapon is just a hose. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. We're gonna start with his R1 first because I wanna demonstrate his L1 afterwards. So his R1 is going to just drop down missiles from the sky, well, I guess coffee from the sky, and it creates a foam wall. If anybody is under that while it's raining down, it will hurt them. Not your team, but the enemy team. So keep that in mind when you use it. It's not just to build foam. You can actually hurt people with it if you aim it properly. His L1, and this is the reason why I wanted to wait, is it will separate any foam, even yours. So when you have foam built up, keep that in mind before launching that thing, because it will get rid of all the foam that was stacked on top of each other. Once it explodes at the end, it will create a wall of foam for you that you can either hide behind or walk on top of. This is a good character for getting to high places, and he's definitely better being at high places than it is for being at low places. So try to get that height advantage as much as possible. And for his ultimate, he rains down a beam of coffee from the sky. You have to be careful because while you're aiming it, you are vulnerable and you can be shot at and you can be hurt. So you have to be careful when using it. Once you use it, it will rain a beam, hitting everything in the center of that and leveling out the playing field just like you see here. But again, a character that is very, very good if you want to be more strategic with how you play and you want to be rewarded for playing well. You will be punished for playing okay or poorly. He only rewards those who play him well. The next character we have is Mel T, a very straightforward character as well. When you use her regular shot, they are homing missiles. So as soon as you get close to a target, you'll see them glow yellow, or you'll see like your target get yellow. That lets you know you can shoot it and fire it off. You can only target one at a time. So if there are two characters close to each other, you might struggle because she's going to target whichever one it's on at that point in time. And it's kind of hard to choose. So keep that in mind. But yes, it will home in. Do not shoot when it's white. Wait till it's yellow and you'll get more shots on your target. The first ability that she has is like a mini turret that can't be destroyed, to my knowledge. I don't think I've ever seen anyone destroy it. I don't think it can be destroyed. And she will shoot out ice cream balls like that, and it creates foam on the ground as well as damages enemies. A very good way to use that ability is to make sure you use it when they're closer to you, because you're gonna get hit by multiple pellets. Don't try to use it from a far distance because it's most likely not gonna hit. It's very easy and slow to dodge. I do want to add something though. When you use this ability, remember to not use it in the air. So as an example, let's just say I want to hit someone down there, right? But I use the ability up here, well, it's gonna float. So whether you jump, whether you're at a higher area, you have to keep in mind that if you use it at the wrong time, it won't do you justice and it's gonna stay shooting upwards rather than going down. Her other ability is going to be rockets that drop down. As you see when you hold it, it actually goes from cross to or from horizontal to vertical. So really, really, really cool ability. And if you time it right, you can have them more close together like so. Now they do still go sporadic, but it's a little bit more close. So you can use that as a way to hurt people. Remember, when targets drop, it hurts people. So use that to your advantage if you need to. I'm telling you, a lot of this character has very, very, very in-depth kits, and I'm barely scratching the surface. So if you guys want to see guides on the characters, make sure you let me know by hitting that like button, or let me know in the comments below. And her final ability is going to be where she gets out her laser. You line it up, and she'll shoot it. And you still can aim it when she's letting it go. You can still drag it across by using the right stick, and she will still cover the wide area. It will shoot through walls, but not all walls, so you need to keep that in mind when you're playing. You'll get a feel for it once you play it. I guess the best thing I can say to get used to it is that, let's just say we're shooting downwards, right? If we were to shoot downwards, I can use the ultimate, and if it were to hit where I'm standing right now, so if it were to hit right there, it'll block, it won't go through. However, if there was a pillar in front of me, I could potentially shoot through the pillar. It's very weird, but once you start playing her more, you will get used to it. This character is great for those who really want to kind of sit back and support their team from a distance. You know, you don't really want to get too close, but you want to be close enough to be part of the action. This character is amazing for you, especially if you don't really want to focus too much on where you're aiming, but you want to focus more on how you're playing. Again, this is the character for you. That about wraps it up. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you suds up that like button so other players can know about the characters and what they do. And it really helps out YouTube to know people like the video. If you're looking for news, guides, tips, tricks, updates, what have you, this is the channel for you. Make sure you subscribe, that way you're notified. And until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. We'll often.